worried about? What you worried about? 'Cause I ain't worried about nothing.
What's up, y'all? It's Simply Rayne, and you're listening to I Am Refocused Podcast on iHeartradio. Be sure to go check out my newest single called Watcha Worried About, available on all digital platforms. Also, go check me out at Malaluna this Sunday, the Malaluna Festival. See you there.
Everybody looking all chic and neat, about to get it going to the beat. Gonna get it poppin', go on.
You are listening to Refocused Magazine Podcast with your host, Shamaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now let's tune in to today's podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to I Am Refocused Podcast. Today is a special day, like every Thursday is. We have our special guest, Simply Rayne, R&B, pop, urban artist. She's a singer, songwriter, and performer. Say hello, Simply Rayne. How are you doing today?
Hello, it's me. How are you?
Doing really good. And before we get started, like we always do, I want to give a big shout out to Rockafellas Barber Shop and the owner, Rico Rodriguez, man. Thank you so much for always allowing us here every Thursday. So tell us a little bit about your music and when was the first time you held a mic?
Sure. So, my music, I'm an R&B artist, and I've always loved music. So I have to say that the first time I probably held a mic was 12 years old, probably. That's when I really started getting serious with my singing career, and I was like, this is something that I'm interested in, something that I would like to take serious. And my dad, I remember he bought me like a karaoke machine, and that was like the first thing I ever had. And with the karaoke machine, we got little microphones, so that's what really sparked this whole journey of what I wanted to do.
At what age were you when you said, I just want to do this professionally?
Yes.
When did that take off for you?
That had to be around the age of 13. And
wow, just a year later?
Yeah, like a year later, honestly. I was enjoying it at 12 and 13. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I remember I was super shy, and I was like, not the best singer when I first started out, to be honest. I didn't come out my mama singing. Like, But I was like, in order to really grow what I want to become something great, I have to take lessons. So my mom got me into vocal lessons, and I started from there, and sure enough, I was able to gain a voice from that.
What was your first song?
I do remember my first performance. This was when I was 13 as well, and it was at the church, Resurrection Baptist Church.
RBC.
Yes.
Nice.
And I got cast to be Mary in a play, and Mary had a solo to sing, and that was my first ever live show. And oh my gosh, my heart was pounding, but I was just super excited to be singing in the microphone and on stage. But yes.
Now, when you're in the studio, when was the first time you had the opportunity to be in the studio? How did that work out? Did you know people, or did someone connect you?
Right. Man, these are some throwbacks. I like it, though. So this was around the age of 13 as well. I had a family, a really close friend of mine. Her dad worked... He enjoyed the industry. So he was the one that first had me come into a studio, right? And it was an interesting experience the first time because, I didn't know anything about the studio life. I didn't know about takes and all this stuff. So I was just going in there, and I was like, wow, I'm in a studio. And it was like, it was a nice little studio. It wasn't anything super major, but at the time it was a big deal for me. So, and it was my first song I ever recorded, Circles. And I actually took that in one take. Wow. But we went back and re-recorded stuff because, takes are important. So that was one of my first experiences.
So can we drop some names? I think I know who that is.
Of course, yes. It was Mr. Charles Sloan.
I thought so. Okay.
C-Maxler Entertainment. That's who got me started. And, he had a big part of the very beginning. It was really involved. So.
Okay.
Now, when you started to perform on stage... how did that process work, too? Because it's one thing being in the studio, but having the opportunity to actually launch your career.
Right, yes.
When was your first official, concert?
So this was when I was a part of Mr. Sloan C-Maxler Entertainment, and we went on, a little tour, and we had different performances here and there. And I remember at the Joe Long Theater, that was one of my very first performances as well, and I I was just super excited to be on a humongous stage. Or at the time, I thought this is a humongous stage. I'm gonna invite all my friends here, and I just remember, I know I want to be a performer. Like, that's something that I'm in love with. I love Beyonce, right? So I looked up to her as a performer. I was like, I'm going to perform like crazy and do this and that. So the Joe Long was one of the first places where I was like, yes, I'm going to perform. I'm going to perform. Yeah.
Now, how did you balance that in school? Because that's a juggle, ain't it? Like,
yes, it is.
How did that work out? Did you have, like... How did that work out?
Yeah. So I was actually in public school all the way until my 10th grade year. And I had to get pulled out my 10th grade year because I actually went on an anti-bullying nation tour. And, I was gone for weeks. So I was out in North Carolina, and then we just went all over. So at first it was kind of... It was interesting because my freshman year I was a part of a band, and I had practices every day of the week, almost every other day. So I was having to balance that with my homework. And by the time 10th grade year came around, we're going on tour. I was like, okay, Mom and Dad, so what are we gonna do? Because I can't be kind of absent this long. They gonna kick me out for real. So my parents made the decision to have me be homeschooled, and homeschool, it's a little lonely at first, but you get used to it. So,
and when you're doing these performances, did you ever get stage fright at first, or were you just like, I'm in it, I'm in my zone, no worries?
Stage fright with me, I feel when I first started, I probably got more of a beating heart like this, but it's more of excitement. Like, I can't wait till it's my turn to go up on stage because I just want to dance already. I just want to sing. But I think it's good to be a little nervous before every show. Right. It gets your blood flowing. It gets you like, okay, let's do it. But once you're up on stage, it just takes about maybe a couple seconds. And once you're up, you're like, okay, I got this. Yeah, I got this. I'm good.
I'm sure your friends were just going crazy. How is that too when, you go back to school or just back in your community and your friends are going crazy? What are some of the things they're telling you? Like, man, I just saw you on stage. And I saw you on the local news.
Oh, my friends are very supportive, and I appreciate them so much. And they're the type of friends that if I'm being a little too bougie or a little too, I'm this and that, they'll smack me right down. It's like, girl,
they'll pull their coat.
I'm Simply Rayne who? They'll call me by my real name. So that's that. I love them.
And you have a sister that kind of gets involved too.
Oh, yes.
Touch on that a little bit. What's some of the things that she does to help you out?
Yes, so Elise, my little sister, she's 15 and way taller than me. But she is actually the model in the family and the designer. So she's very in tune with coming up with all of Simply Rayne's clothes and stuff like that. She can draw. She also helps me with a lot of songwriting as well. So I love her to death. She's very creative.
Nice.
Period.
Now, when you're in the zone songwriting, did you learn from someone in particular for songwriting, or was that just something you just naturally did on your own? Like, you had your notepad and...
Right. So with songwriting, that was just something that I just felt like it was all me. I didn't really learn from anybody. It was just something that I kind of picked up, and I was like, I'm just gonna write how I feel, and then I'll find some synonyms and rhyme some words together, and that's how a song comes about.
Awesome. Now, let's speed up a little bit. Let's fast forward to today, because something happened special yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Something really special happened. So you just dropped a new single called Watcha Worried About, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that song, the background about that.
For sure. So, Watcha Worried About, you guys, that song just dropped yesterday. That is a song that I wrote, and it is a very funky, upbeat, lively R&B sound. And I wanted to make it... I wanted to make sure that this sound was who I truly am, because I had my How We Do stage, and now I have What You're Worried About, and this can back me up when I say I'm an R&B artist. We have saxophones, we have real instruments in this. So the story behind it was I had originally just had one verse done. I showed it to my management. I showed it to my dad first, and he's like, girl, show that to your management team. Let them hear it. I was like, it's not ready yet. He's like, no, show it. We go to the meeting. I show it. Sure enough, that first verse and the chorus was enough for them to be like, girl, you need to finish the song, and then let's go and record record it. I finished it, and I prayed to God. I was like, please help me keep the flow of the song and make sure I'm able to complete it, and it sounds just as great as it did when I presented to them. They loved the final version of my original song, and we went to Houston, recorded it in a big old studio. It was nice, and it was a great recording process. I really enjoyed that.
Now, when you're in your zone in the music industry, there's some cool people you met too. Can you drop some names of some people you got to meet?
Oh yes. So along in this journey, I've gotten a chance to meet Alicia Cara, Austin Mahone, Becky G. We have a lot. I always remember them when I'm not on an interview, but I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of influential people in the music industry as well through my Why Not Entertainment family. Just got back from a trip in Miami, matter of fact. But
is there some things that they actually get to share with you? Like, do you ever have a chance to pick their brain and talk about the music industry or talk about just your career? So
normally it is a very quick hello, nice to meet you, because I'm just getting out in front of them, I'm meeting them. But that is something that is the ultimate goal, to sit down and speak to them, and that chance will definitely come around. But it's great to be able to be in their presence, and have them remember my name. Yes.
And your fans, how you try to keep in touch with your fans? Are they super crazy after the show, or they just kind of stalk you on social media?
With my fans, they can stalk me all they want. I call them my raindrops, and I connect with them on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's mainly my way of connecting with them. I tell them, if you ever need to message me, just message me. I will answer your messages. Okay, I will answer them. So,
what are some of the programs you are involved in?
Yes. So some of the programs here in San Antonio that I'm involved in, I'm part of Dream SA, which is an initiative of Metro Health, and I'm a teen ambassador for the city of San Antonio. And basically what I do is I get a chance to go around and speak to the youth about a bunch of different topics like health, career, education, preventing teen pregnancy, anti-bullying, and I get to involve my music and speak to the youth about these topics, but then also perform for them. And then I get to get them connected that way. So I think it's very important for me. I like to think of myself as a role model, and I'm proud of that. I want to be a role model. So when I get to speak, especially to young ladies, when I get to speak to them about, just do this, do that, because I'm still trying to achieve my dreams, right? But I've gotten this far. So just do what you need to do and keep your mind straight. You first. Go at it.
Stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused. That's really what you have to do. Yeah.
And speaking of that, if you were to offer anyone advice who might want to be a singer like you, a songwriter, what's some of the things you would think is necessary for them to know, especially getting into the music industry at a young age?
Yes. Honestly, I would say you want to always perfect your craft. You can never know too much. So with me, even though I'm a singer, I take my time out to learn music theory just to be able to speak the language to professional musicians. So just learn so much from voice technique, ear training, music theory, just at least try to dabble on an instrument. I played the violin for 3 years. I know a little bit of piano, but just enough to get you through, all right? But as long as you stay true to yourself and you continue to practice, you got to always practice, you will continue to grow. And I've seen that, you will grow.
Did you do music while you was in school too, or was it just something that you did on your own after school, after hours?
Well, once I got my schoolwork in, music was always there, all the time. Do my homework, let's do some music. Do my homework, let's do some music. That's how it was. But now that my schedule is, I'm able to be more flexible, it's music 24/7, literally.
Now, what's the one thing that you really just love about music? Like, what process do you like more? Performing or just behind the scenes, the making of?
Man, you know what? I always ask myself that question. It switches back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, I feel like performing right now. Sometimes I'm like, man, I really wish I could go in the studio and just chill backstage, But I have to say all of it. I love everything about just the being in the music industry, period, from the photo shoots, from recording, the video shoots, performing on stage. I just enjoy it all, honestly.
And we cannot forget your mom. She does a heavyweight of management. How is that,
Lord,
having her in your corner?
Talk about a therapist, a cook, a cleaner, a designer, a producer, and a mother. Everything. She's. I can't thank my mom enough. I'm very grateful to have her. And I was telling her last night, I'm like, I look up to you, Mama. Like, you're so strong, and you just know how to, you get this stuff done, and there's so much, and I'm just glad that she's able to do this, because she says, girl, you can't pay me enough to do that. I'm like, I know I can't pay you enough to do this, but one day, you're going to get everything you want, Mother. I promise that.
Yes, she's so laid back.
Oh, she is. She is. She really is. Oh, I love her. I love her.
Now, there's something that's coming soon. Mala Luna Music Festival. Explain to us what's that all about. And I heard there's going to be some cool artists there, like Wiz Khalifa and some major artists, actually.
Oh, yes.
I don't want to spill it too much, but if you can share with us.
Yes, so I'm going to be a part of Mala Luna, which is this Saturday and Sunday. I'll be performing on Sunday. This year I have a full 20-minute set, you guys. So it's come out and see me. But yeah, there's going to be artists such as Migos, Khalid, Future, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa. So it's about to be fun. It's about to be lit. It's gonna be great, and I can't wait.
And let's draw back a little bit back into
sure.
You know, the music industry is always changing every year.
Yeah.
How does your team? How you guys deal with that? Like, y'all have monthly meetings, like, hey, we need to...
Yes. Our team meetings are very important because we need to stay up. We need to all stay on the same page. And we also have to have a game plan and know what we're going to attack, how we're going to attack it. So with me and my music, I try to make sure that I'm staying different from everyone else and delivering a sound that would be fresh for people to hear. And that's what I think Watcha Worried About is able to, when people hear it, I think they'll be able to understand what I mean when I say I'm trying to bring something fresh back. So yes.
And when you are doing music, I know you have faith and all that. How do you balance that as well with some of the things that you do as an artist to keep you just not stressed out, but just stay balanced? What are some things you actually do?
Some of the things, one of my main things is I realize if I haven't read my daily scriptures in a while, I'm like, oh Lord, I need to get back on that, because that's really like the core of how I feel. And I'm like, if I can't give some time out to God every day, I just feel a mess, honestly. And so when I get back into my readings and going to church, I feel great, I feel good, and I'm like, okay, now I feel unbeatable. Another thing is I love to work out. That's fitness. That's a big part of performing. So I feel strong mentally, and just with my body, I feel strong and healthy and ready to take on anything, honestly. So
and when you say fitness, there's a lot of people listening. They can like, well, tell us more. What's some fitness stuff you do? You like just regular fitness, like cardio?
So I actually go to a place called Northwood Sports, and they're professional football trainers, basically. This is like some hardcore stuff. My dad got me into it for Mala Luna prepping, but we do way more than cardio. They got me in there lifting some weights and doing some pushing, all this stuff. We do a lot.
Because you move on stage, right?
Oh, yes.
Because some people think it's just I'm rapping or singing a song and that's it. And you see a nice picture and that's it.
I don't sing with no track either, right? So it's live vocals, and I'm in heels dancing, going low. So I got to make sure I'm conditioned for that. So yeah, I go hard in my workouts, sweating within 30 minutes, easily, drenched.
Now, is there certain artists that you look up to?
There's actually a lot of different artists I look up to. I gotta say, I love my girl Beyonce. I love you. Bruno Mars, he's crazy, y'all. Honestly, I hope to meet him one day. I love my Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige. There's so many artists that I'm influenced by, and that I'm very I love their music, obviously. But yes, there's a lot.
If there's an artist that you could collab with? If you had your top 3 choices.
Yes, top 3.
That you can collab with tomorrow.
Ooh.
Who would it be?
Bruno Mars. Okay, Bruno Mars. Beyonce. And probably like a J Balvin, Nicki Jam, or one of those. You know, get into my Latin roots a little bit. Because that's really popping right now.
I'm going to put you on the spot again.
Okay.
What would you call the song?
Ooh, goodness. Okay, what type of song is it? Love song? Cocky song? What type of song?
Maybe a song kind of like Watcha Worried About. Maybe like a part 2.
Let's see. Maybe like I Got It or something like that. Like I Got It. It's so cool. I don't know. Maybe I could just write something like, right, like I Got It. Ooh, okay.
That's nice. I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Now, once again, you know, you're a young artist. You're focused. You're determined. Are there any times where you get drained? You know, and touch on that, because I think that's very important too for our listeners to hear, especially those who are into wanting to aspire to be a music artist.
Of course. There's definitely moments where I personally get drained, and I just have to take a step back and kind of refocus and allow myself to take this break, take a moment, you know, because I know I'm not half as busy as I will be in the future. So I'd like to give myself like some reflection time and be like, you're working hard, but you need to also remember that you're going to be working harder in the future. So don't get defeated now, or don't feel like you're not supposed to do this now, because these doors that are opening wouldn't be opening for you if I wasn't meant to do this, honestly. So yeah, I have my setbacks, but I'm able to not feel pity for myself, and able to just get back up and continue doing what I need to get done, and I get it done.
What does success mean to you?
Oh Lord, success. Well, you know, we all have our different opinions on what it means, but for me, I feel like being content, being happy, and that's basically what success is for me. Achieving what I want to achieve in my life. Mm-hmm. That's success.
If you wanted to travel anywhere in the world and perform, where would you want to perform?
Ooh, I got to get off the continent, honestly. I want to go to Paris for sure. I want to see some of the Paris boys, and the architect there. It's very nice. So I want to be able to get off the continent for sure.
And back to San Antonio, you've been on the local news. You've been on radio stations. How do you take all the media attention? Is it pressure sometimes where you feel like you have to over-deliver, or how do you handle that, being spotlight? Yeah,
I actually enjoy those, the Ken Fives, Good Day SA, Great Day SA. I enjoy the local news interviews and stuff. You know, they're always just fun, and it's great to be able to be out there in front of my city. So those are more laid back and more like, oh, hello, you know, but I like them.
And you've been on the West Coast, you've been on the East Coast.
Of course.
What are the differences you see in the vibes as far as artists compared to San Antonio? Because San Antonio doesn't always get the kind of love it deserves. It
doesn't, not at all. Just last week I was on the East Coast, and I was like, you know what? When I come back home, I'm going to feel more myself, because it's more laid back, it's more chill, versus everyone on the East Coast or West Coast. It's very fast paced. Everyone's bam, let's go, bam, bam, bam. And you come back to San Antonio, and there's nothing wrong with San Antonio. I love San Antonio, but it is a little more homely, a little more chilled back, and you're able to kind of take a break and realize what's happening. But I just feel like when you're on the West Coast or East Coast, you got to be ready. You got to know what you're going to wear, how you're going to look, how you're going to speak, and just be ready to go.
When your songs hit the radio, how does that feel like?
I've only heard my song. I know it plays, but I've heard my song on the Australian radio.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I remember the first time I heard it on the radio, I was 14, and it was with my baby song Circles, and it was a great experience. I got super excited because I've never heard my song on the radio, but I know I'm going to be hearing it a lot more soon, you know.
Now, in the music industry, there's a business side. Do you get involved with business decisions, or you just stay in the studio and...
So I'm that type of... I know, oh Lord. So I'm that type of artist that when I say you need to know everything about what you're doing, because this is your business, this is your job, you need to know everything about it. My dad, he's a business savvy man to begin with, so the music industry is just like his corporate job, right? So he wants me to know about this, and I take my time out to like read my books about it. And of course, since it's happening right in front of me, I am always involved in what's happening. And although since my parents, they are the grown-ups, the true grown-ups, I learn from them, and I watch and figure out what I need to know from them. So.
Now, would you want to own a label one day?
You already know. That's one of my goals. I would love to have my own label and just develop artists and figure out who's the next. Like let's
get into that a little bit. All right. So say someone's listening. Okay. And they're like, man, this is inspiring. Mm-hmm. I like to sing all the time. Yes. Not Shemaya, but someone listening might like to sing all the time.
Not me.
What's the starting steps, building blocks that they need to focus on in order to make that dream a reality?
So let's see here. In order to make that dream a reality, I would have to say, just start with the basics. What type of artist do you want to be? What type of image do you want to portray to people? Are you going to be a performer? Are you going to be a vocalist? You're going to be both, you know? So it's just starting with who you are first, and then just working yourself. I remember when I first started, that was one of the main things I had to work on. Starting with myself. Get your vocal lessons every three times a week, right? Learn as much as you can. What type of artist are you? R&B. Okay, cool, got it. And then get you a good team. That's very important. Like, that's vital, right? So, and you always want to get people that will have your back 100%. For me, it's my parents. No one knows me better or is going to have my back more than my own blood, right? My parents. So I feel like those are like your stepping stones right there to get to where you want to be.
And how many hours can they actually expect to be investing per week?
You know,
if they're serious.
If you're serious, you're not even going to be worried about, I got 7 hours done today, or I got 5 hours, because you're not going to realize the time's going by. If you're really that into it, it's just going to happen naturally. And like for me, I was always doing my music, and that's what my parents saw. They're like, she's always doing this. My goodness, she must be serious. So it proved on its own. I didn't have to prove anyone by saying, well, I did 5 hours today, so I'm going to be this, you know? Nah, it just happens by itself.
Now, should they ever be worried more so about getting on radio, or should they be more so worried about the song in the studio? Because you know how people, they just want to get famous, be on stage versus...
You know, if you're going to do something, you need to make sure that it's the whole package. You want to be able to speak. You want to be able to perform. Not everyone's a performer, but you want to be able to know how to sing, right? You want to be able you want to make sure you have a great product. So if you're making music, don't just throw out anything. Make sure it's good. Make sure it's quality, because that's your brand. So you don't want to mess that up. And that's one thing that I've learned from my parents. This is your brand, your product. So you need to treat it as such.
And when you're talking to multiple media platforms, do you ever get coached in public speaking?
So for me, although I enjoy speaking, there is artist development that comes with this, because you got to be ready to know how to dodge those random questions that you're like, what the? Okay, can we get back to my song? You know, that type of thing. So yeah, right now I'm going through artist development with my Why Not Entertainment family, and they've really helped me come a long way with some interviewing skills, my speaking skills, just how to be presentable in public.
And how long have you been with them, and how did you get picked up?
Sure. So I've been with them, it's going to be a year now, and I actually met them at a performance that I was doing for Network for Young Artists. Forgot to mention that for Mala Luna, all the proceeds are going to Network for Young Artists. Just shout out to them. But it was actually for one of their events, and it was at their Hard Rock Cafe. They were there. One of, I guess, a music executive came up to me. He said, "Hey, you're good. You need to go check out, you need to get with Mr. Juan and Ms. Villa." I was like, okay. So we spoke, and then sure enough, we planned a meeting. We got that in gear, and we believed that going with them was a good route to go. So.
And when you are just in the zone, when you're on stage, do you ever have those moments where you connect with someone in the crowd, or you just kind of like stare at the back of the wall?
I feel like it is my goal to make sure that the audience is connecting, because I feed off of the audience's energy, and that's how I know I'm doing a good job. If they're reacting well, then I'm going to react well back to them. So I do black out sometimes, and my sister will say, "Did you hear them screaming?" I'm like, "I didn't hear nothing, no." I just see their hands like this, or like, I'm like, "But I didn't hear anything." But yeah, I feel like it's very important for me to connect with the audience when I'm performing.
And also, when you're performing, are there times where you just have to adjust because maybe the earpiece wasn't up to...
I feel like...
You did have a Mariah Carey moment.
Oh, Lord. We all have those moments. We all have those moments. And, either the mic's too loud, you got to say, and then you need more sound from the monitors. But you just got to know how to adjust smoothly and not freak out over it. I've had times where my track just stops. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell a joke. Guess what? So just being a professional about it and not freaking out is key.
And producers, how do you actually connect with producers? You have a team that just does all the networking and stuff, or you just handpick? How does that process work?
So my team, they are musically inclined. Mr. Juan, he's a musician himself and has a great ear. So he knows people. He knows, this person, let's have him recorded. He knows how to add instruments to the song. Let's have him. So I believe their judgment because they're great. So, yeah, with my team, we have producers come along with that.
In the studio process, do they show you and explain what they're doing, or is it just like you're in and you're out? Like, do they break down? Right. Mm-hmm.
Since it's something that I've been doing for a while, the main question they ask me is, "You been in the studio before?" "Yes, I have." "Okay, you know what to do. Let's go." That simple, that easy, and I know if I want to stop a take, I just tell them right away, "Let's stop. I don't want to waste your time. Let's do this. Let's get this done." And yeah, it's great. It's a great flow.
And when you're shooting music videos, tell us a little bit about that, because we're gonna get deep into this because people don't know anything about this kind of stuff. Yes. What's the process when you're about to launch a music video shoot?
Man, music video shoots, they're my favorite. I really enjoy shooting videos because I get to really be super sassy and out there. And for example, Watcha Worried About, that was a big process because this is the one where my team, we got this all together. I didn't have a PR team to do this for me, and we were the PR team. So we had to find locations. You have to make the designs. You got to find the extras. You have to get the camera crew, make sure that they're what you want them to be. Makeup artists, hair, outfits, and this is something we did all on our own. Although it's fun, it is kind of hectic, but as long as we stay organized and know what we need to get done, everything, it falls smoothly. And I can't wait for you guys to see the video and how it came out and what came along.
And speaking back to someone who might be interested in the music industry, what is the typical process between starting the song, writing it, going to the studio, record it, get it mixed down, get it mastered, and then get some marketing done?
Right.
How long does that process usually take? Because some people,
let's see,
I think it takes a week.
Oh, a week? If you want your stuff to be good, you need to make sure you don't rush. You don't rush your art. And if it's not ready to be out, it's not ready to be out. I say you take as long as you need to. That's why some of these artists, they've made their albums a year before they ever release it, obviously, right? Because they have a whole product that they want to present to the world, and it needs to be good. For me, this one took easily probably like 3-4 months from the moment I presented my ideas to getting it recorded to mix and mastering to the photo shoot. to finding locations, to finally shooting it and having it complete. So it takes a couple of months easily. And that was one song.
In marketing, how's that? Because you got so many platforms you can be on nowadays.
Yes.
How does your team tackle that? Like, what's the process of campaigns and stuff?
Yes, so my team, they have connections with themselves. So, of course, they connect with the people that they network with, and they get it out there that way. Me, I'm just on my social media, and I'm pushing the heck out of it. And, of course, since I have supportive followers and friends, they're helping me push it as well. I feel it's all about your relationships and what people hear about you. Is she worth listening to? Should I listen to it? And even if people backing you up in your corner, people are going to want to be interested in it. What's this? I want to hear it.
So how important would you say social media is?
For artists.
Gosh.
Honestly, some people think it's not necessary. I don't need social media.
Honestly, I have my moments where I'm like, I don't feel like posting today. But it is important. If you want to stay relevant, you need to post. You got to post. And especially when you first drop a song, don't feel like you're bugging people. Get that stuff out there, because not everyone sees it the first time you post it. So today, before I post this video, I'm going to be spamming the heck out of Instagram, letting everyone know it's out. Because you want those numbers, those counts to go up. So, yeah.
And do you guys ever, because your team does marketing too, you guys work with other companies too to help broaden the reach too, or you kind of just do it solo?
It's right for the beginning. It's like a solo thing, but we get other networks that come in with it from getting out there. So it's a bonus. It's like plus. You know, we start off and then we find people, and then we get it out even more.
And when it comes to traveling,
yes,
you know, how's that? Those hurdles.
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
you have any funny stories where you left your toothbrush or something?
Let's see. I'm sure I do have some funny stories. Okay. Well, I enjoy traveling, even though I'm there for like 2 days and it's time to go back home. I've noticed that I always get like a stuffy nose whenever I leave San Antonio. It's horrible. I'll either break out, I'm like, perfect. For this event, I get a pimple, wonderful. Or else my nose just gets stuffed up. I don't know if it's like the hotel rooms or what, but that's a always thing. So I always bring my nose spray and always bring my epiduo, okay? Very important. Those are necessities.
Now, let's go back to when you were younger.
Yes.
Did you ever have a favorite song that you just love playing during the holidays? Because everyone has their favorite song.
Oh,
what's yours?
My favorite song. Okay, Shantae Moore, Special. I love that song so much. It, especially in November, the fall time, it brings back so many memories for me.
Can you give us a taste?
It's like, special you are, la da da da, something like that. La, da, da. It's so nice. I love it. Go look it up if you haven't heard it. It's great.
I'll look that one up.
And speaking of holidays, what is your favorite holiday?
Okay, anything September? Okay, you know, Christmas. But my months, September, October, November, December. Those are my favorite months. Holiday has to be Christmas. I love my Christmas holiday. I don't know about you, but when it's the fall time, I can smell it. I step outside, I'm like, it smells like Christmas. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I do that. I do it all the time.
Depends where you at.
That's like me and my sister's thing. It smells like Christmas. Yeah.
And you went to New York last year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was cold.
Yeah.
I was
snow.
Okay, check this out. I didn't realize that I needed snow boots, so the moment I stepped outside, I had my Converse on. Stepped in a big old pile of snow. I'm like, this is not gonna get in my shoe. Oh my gosh, I almost got frostbite. Like, yeah. I'm gonna bring boots next time I go to New York and it's a blizzard.
What's your favorite song for Christmas?
Ooh, okay. I love, even though it's not a Christmas song, I love listening to my Al Green songs like Let's Stay Together, So in Love. I
Way
love,
old school.
Yeah, I love those songs. But then I guess my actual Christmas songs, I like my Michael Bublé. I guess it was Come Home or something. I forget the name, but when I hear it, I know it for sure. Blues Christmas or Come Home for Christmas, something like that. But I love my Christmas songs.
And back to your songs. Do you have a favorite top song that you ever recorded? And if you do, why?
Ooh, Honestly, I love all of my songs because they each have their different eras. But What You Worried About, since it's fresh, it's new. This is probably one of my favorites. It's one of my babies. It's like the older baby of all of them, and I'm like, yes, because it's what I've been wanting my sound to be like. That's what I feel. So I'm glad.
And it has that nice old school feel drive to it.
I'm glad you hear that.
I love it.
Thank you.
It was catchy when I first just heard the. Like, wow.
Awesome.
Okay, that's old school.
I'm glad that was able to, that was noticeable, because that's something that I really wanted people to be able to hear and be like, okay, she's bringing something back.
Is there artists back in the day that you would like to collab with if you had an opportunity with?
Ooh.
Who would that be? And what song do you like from back in the day?
You know, I love Bad Boy, Puff Daddy. I love Brandy. Maybe like her I Want to Be Down, but you're gone. I would love to collab with those 90s artists because they're so awesome.
I'm just asking random questions. I gotta do
You're
it.
good.
If you could write a song to any show,
Okay.
what would it be and why?
What show? Ooh.
Intro.
You know, as
How about a
goofy.
comeback show?
A comeback? Can it be like on Disney Channel?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay, it's a movie. I'd write for the Cheetah Girls. If they bring it back, I am a Cheetah Girl. Okay? Let me write for the Cheetah Girls. That's what I like to do.
There you go.
I love the Cheetah
Can you give us a little snippet?
Ooh, maybe be like, let's see. I'm a cheetah girl.
Yeah.
Get on it. Yeah. I don't know, something like Google that.
All right. So, Mr. Questions today. What would be your favorite childhood show that you watched?
Oh, Lord. I have so many. The Proud Family, you guys.
Hey,
Can
they had a pretty
that one
dope
back?
intro, man.
Yes, the intro song, the Proud Family. You let me that's my show. Will always be my show. I wanted to come back so bad.
Is there any special events coming up outside of the Mala Luna Music Festival?
Yes.
Any other ones coming up in the near future?
So I will be going to Austin next Friday because I'm actually part of it's a Teen Vogue meetup summit type thing, and I'm actually got picked to be an ambassador. It's called a It Girl. So I'm excited that I got picked to be a part of that, especially since it's Teen Vogue. So I'm going to be there listening to a ton of different important people, such as some different actresses. We got poets, activists, all that great stuff. So I can't wait to network and meet new people. And then I'm going to the Grammys, American Grammys, in January.
Nice.
So I'm excited for that.
How many times have you been there?
This is going to be my first time.
Really?
Yes, first time. But I
You're
can't
excited?
wait. Oh,
If you can meet, just in case, you never know who's listening. If you can meet anybody there, who would you want to meet?
and let me bump into Beyonce, please.
She's going to say it.
Hey, you never know if she's listening. Shout out to you.
No,
Yes.
Bruno.
Okay. Or Bruno?
Or Bruno, yes.
All right. That ties to another question.
Yes.
If you could perform at the after party, or if they have one, whatever, who would you want to perform with?
Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to say Bruno Mars again because I feel like his sound right now is very What You Worried About sounding too.
It is.
So we'd already have that feel, that funk, and we get down looking like brothers and sisters, you know?
Right.
I'd love that.
Drop your website real quick and
sure.
your social handles.
Yes, so my website is simplyrayne.com. That's simply RAYNE. And you can find me on social media. We got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Connect with me, you guys. Also my Spotify. Follow me on there as well. I just got verified, so be sure to become a listener. Again, Simply Rayne, SimplyRayne.
And guys, if you're tuning in, just want to give another shout out to Rico Rodriguez, the owner of Rockafellas Barber Shop. He allows us to come through every Thursday to do this podcast, which is super dope, San Antonio. Simply Rayne, man, what is something you want to tell our listeners?
I would like to say, first of all, if I have any new listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go check out my newest single, just dropped yesterday. It's called What You Worried About. It's on all digital platforms. We got Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, SoundCloud. Go check it out. Be sure to like the video on YouTube, which should be up today. And leave me some comments below. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it.
And one more thing for the aspiring singer, music artist, they want to do what you're doing. They want to travel. They want to be in the studio. They want to be on the grind.
Yes.
What's one last thing you would just emphasize for them, just to keep them focused?
Find your starting point. Stay at it. Perfect your craft, and stay focused and go for it. That's all I gotta say. Go for it.
And one more. What would you say to young women out there?
Yes.
Just any field, professional field. What would you like to say to them?
Honestly, I would say you're beautiful, and make sure that you keep education in front of you. Stay focused. Just worry about yourself, right? Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself just as beautiful as you could be, you guys, all right? So stay a great role model to any other young ladies, because even though I have young ladies looking up to me, you may have young ladies looking up to you as well. So just stay focused and have a mind of your own, for sure.
Well, Simply Rayne, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to I Am Refocused Podcast. Once again, guys, you can catch us on iHeartradio, Googleplay, iTunes. I won't even waste your time at listening to all the platforms. But thank you so much for supporting us, supporting San Antonio. Make sure you support my boy, Rico Rodriguez, and Rockafellas Barber Shop in San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you tune in to next Thursday. Until then, y'all have a good day, and God bless.